try out this gun now.
Capture and defend the flags. Securing C.
Hey, what is going on, guys? SpikeBeat here. In today's episode, in the background, we got some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. This is the second half of a domination match I was in. In the first half, I was doing absolutely horrible. I started off with the XMGs, didn't like the way I was playing, switched to the SN6, still didn't like the way I was playing, ended up going 9 and 10, I think. The second half did much better with the STG-44. I ended up going 21 and 4, I think, so good 4 KD. I was really happy with that. That's part of the reason why you're only seeing this half of it. It still kind of starts off a little bit slow, and then it really picks up towards the middle. So I hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the background. Today's episode, I kind of want to talk about the psychology of gaming and kind of some stuff I've been thinking about, especially from looking at it from the psychology side of it. Why is it that we play video games? Why is it that this is something that has become so huge? Why has it grown so much over the last 50 years of technology growing? Why is it that video games have been what's grown so fast and so much? Why is it such a big industry when plenty of other things could have been growing? Kind of the number one thing, well, actually I have two kind of basic theories that I want to talk about. Down in the comments, be sure to tell me what you think. Tell me if you think I missed something, or if you think one of them is more likely than the other. But one of them is the fact that, especially in our modern societies, as we become more modernized, we start to see more and more countries step out of the poverty third world nations. You have a lot of adrenaline deficiencies. Whereas you used to have a lot of guys who were out hunting, they'd have to go exploring and all sorts of stuff, where they're out doing stuff in the wilderness all day. They're constantly active, they're constantly living this life where you could die at any minute. Something could kill you. You have no idea. Whereas we don't really have that anymore. Unless you happen to have some really, really rare job. Most of us, especially for students, we get in a bus or get in our car, we drive to school, and that's it. We don't have to walk 5 miles through the middle of nowhere to get to the school or anything. We all live in relatively safe places. So this is kind of where I feel like video games comes in, where it kind of lets us feel that excitement, that just raw, just adrenaline that we miss in our lives now. Something that we needed for so long, especially if you look at it throughout time. For so long, you needed that adrenaline rush. You needed to be able to, crap, there's a cougar over there, gotta get away. You gotta be able to have that fight or flight instinct, whereas nowadays you don't really have that. The fight or flight really only kicks in now, like, oh my god, the cute girl's looking at me, and that's about it. We don't have a whole lot going on, where video games kind of gives us a chance to have that. It kind of gives us that ability to have that adrenaline. This was really stupid of me. I don't know why I spent so much time trying to call this stupid thing in, instead of just calling it in and hitting the button. Most likely I'm going to hit at least one person. Kind of happy I didn't call it in earlier, though, because this one ends up going crazy for me. I think I get 5 or 6 kills just with that bombing run right there. So I'm pretty happy with that. But the other thing I was kind of thinking about was, is this just an evolution of Freud's primary motivations? He really said that we had, as humans, we have 2 primary motivations: sex and aggression. And I feel like video games, especially shooters, Minecraft not so much, but especially like COD, Battlefield, soon coming Battlefront, all those games, you have us kind of living out this fantasy of being the super soldier, of being, especially like this game, being the #1 soldier on the team, going out there, taking out everybody, getting to be that guy, the tough guy, all that stuff. Is this just the evolution of it? Because back 1,000 years ago, you actually had to fight for your life. You had to run from bad guys all day. You were persecuted religiously, ethnically, just simply the fact that you were part of some other nation. All this stuff. There was a lot more violence. There was a lot more of, you could die at any minute. So you had to have that aggressive, just, I'm ready to do whatever I have to survive or protect my family. that you don't have anymore. And kind of what I think happened is that shifted over to video games from sports. It used to be sports you'd have a bunch of guys freaking out about. Now they're doing it. Now esports is starting to take over. Be sure to tell me your opinion down in the comments below. Like the